Hey, welcome back to another Getting Together podcast. You know him, Jeremy Brinkerhoff, and myself, Raylene Challinor. Welcome back. We're so glad to have you back with us.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Are we up? Are we running?
Are
we
we're
good?
Up.
He's dialing.
I'm dialing it in.
Doing things.
It in.
So,
good.
Anyway, okay. All right. How you doing?
Yeah, good. You? You're very...
we did not get the memo.
Yeah, apparently we don't talk very much about how to coordinate.
See, Kelly and Ryan, it can't happen.
We'll get there.
They coordinate.
They have people, though.
They do. They have a lot of people.
A lot of people that can coordinate. What's that?
I want people.
Oh, we're going to get people.
Are we?
Yep. You can apply online today
300
to be
viewers.
some of our people.
We appreciate every single one of you. Thank you, Mom.
And if you have that talent of coordination and you want to buy all of our clothes,
we would love it.
We'll give you a shout out.
Do my makeup,
really,
please.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, Ray.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, and this morning we had a little. We're still learning how to get together properly.
Yes.
And there's always things about communication that can be improved. There's always room for improvement.
What?
On my part, on your part as well. Being kind and understanding.
Oh, that.
But so this brings up a discussion.
Yes.
Because I'm a guy.
Yes, you are. That can chop wood.
Darn
tootin'.
And maybe this is actually a reinforcement of that.
Is it?
Maybe I'm just trying to be extra masculine in the way that I respond to things like texts and phone calls and communication in general.
Yes.
So anyway, what was sort of that thing this morning? How did we start our day?
So I wanted to let you know it's going to be a little late. So
Yes.
I just text you. I'm getting guest gift bags at
Yes.
Walmart. So that to you should mean I'm going to be a little late. Your response should have been, okay, or see you soon, see you when you get there, smiley face, something, white noise.
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm
because
like,
it's a statement.
did
It's
he
not a
get the
question.
text?
It doesn't require.
I don't know. Does he know I'm going to be late? Is he going to panic that I'm not there? Because I'm usually the first one here. I wanted to save you that whole anxiety. And then I had anxiety because you didn't text me back.
Anxiety even?
Well, I was a little like, is he okay? Is he going to be all right?
What? So why go there? Why not just be like, okay, here's some information. You just lay it out there. And then, we're not running behind. It wasn't like you were late or that we were going to have to push back anything. So in my head, there's just that thing of it's a statement. I'm stopping by Walmart to pick up bags.
Yeah, but okay. If Marissa calls you up, honey, stopping by Walmart to pick up bags, you just leave her hanging on the end of the phone. You don't respond.
Different. It's a phone call.
But that's it.
Okay.
Text is the same, right?
No.
So on a text,
there's a dog.
There's a dog in here.
You can bring your dog here.
This is Arizona.
It's a dog-friendly state.
That's why we love it. Yes, it is.
Where there's food being prepared.
I love dogs.
For
I don't
dogs.
care. They
Dog
could
food.
be in that kitchen and I wouldn't care. Yep.
Really?
Yep. They could lick my plate and I wouldn't care.
No,
absolutely.
Ray, this is
yes.
bad.
Yes.
Oh, it's just gone from bad to worse.
We're digressing. Anyway.
Well, I don't care. This is more important.
Is it?
A
The
dog
thing? Yeah.
that eats their own vomit and poop and sniffs butts to figure out who you are.
Poop? What kind of
Yes,
dogs
they
have
eat
you
their
been
own.
around?
Oh my gosh.
You
any
didn't have
dog.
dogs growing up, did you?
Definitely not.
Oh my gosh, you were so hoity-toity.
No.
Oh yes, you were.
No.
Yes,
it had nothing
you
to do with being
were.
hoity-toity.
What did it have to do with?
We had allergies. So that's not hoity-toity.
There are dogs that are hypoallergenic now.
Now?
Well, back in
in
our
the day.
Come on.
It was like you had a choice of 3 dogs. Like a Doberman,
were you bird
a
people?
poodle.
Were you bird people? No, they're
Bird.
messy.
I had a bird.
Rabbits?
I had a bird.
Yeah.
I had this weird thing though, Ray.
I bet you did.
I had this in my mind's eye.
Yeah.
I had this thing about Clifford the Big Red Dog. Right? He
Right.
was the runt, but then he
Yes.
ends up being this amazing thing.
Right.
I go to get a bird. I don't know why I wanted a bird.
How old are you at this point? 16?
14.
Okay.
Something like that. 13,
Close
14.
enough.
Whatever. And I'm like, I'm going to get a cockatiel. So then we go to this guy's place. He births them, raises them, whatever you do to cockatiels. I don't know.
Births them.
And there's this cockatiel that has little nubby things.
Yeah.
It's like kind of gimpy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like his toes were missing on purpose. So I feel badly for this thing, but in my head, I'm like, dude, this is my ticket. This thing's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be the best cockatiel ever. He's gonna speak 3 languages, and it's just gonna be awesome. Like, this is my ticket to stardom. And he was just an idiot. It was just a dumb bird.
Dumb bird.
And the guy warns me. He's like, "Look, man, this thing's got some problems." I'm like, "No, it's
bird.
Clifford. No one loved this dog, this bird. I will love this bird, and everyone will be like, we should have loved that bird too."
Yes. So they missed out.
What'd you name him? That's my story.
What'd you name him? Do you remember?
Very, very like witty, incredibly. Teal. Because he's a cockatiel and he was kind of blue. Teal. But accidentally killed him.
Accidentally?
Well,
tell the truth.
We were on a family vacation and the person taking care of our house didn't know that there was a bird. So we came back and I found Teal on the bottom of the cage
with the legs
gasping up. And he was still alive when I found him.
Did you do a little CPR?
I picked him up and he died.
Oh my gosh,
So
Jeremy, that's
I felt
horrible.
really bad.
You should feel bad.
Because I didn't really like him.
Life. You should have left him where he was.
I know. So anyway, yes, we'd had a bird. We had a bunny for a little while.
Okay.
Showed up on Mom's Day. Mm-hmm. So
you're bunny people. You're those people.
We're not bunny people. We were compassionate to a lost rabbit.
Did you kill that one too?
No.
Oh.
No. Natural causes.
Okay.
Natural causes. You had a dog, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Lots of dogs?
My mom wasn't a dog person at all.
Okay.
And but they did graciously let me have a dog. But it was supposed to be a lap dog. It's a Bichon Frise.
A Bichon Frise.
The
really
twist your
really like fluffy, white, small.
Yes.
Quakey?
Lap dogs, right?
Does it shiver a lot?
No.
I hate that. Okay.
No, but Mom wouldn't let the dog be in the house. So it's supposed to be a lap dog. So that caused some anxiety to the dog. So she was never quite right.
Oh, no.
No, never quite right. So anyway, got rid of Taffy. And then when I got married and I was allowed to make my own decisions.
Yes.
Definitely dogs. And of course, as a barren
woman.
You have one
now?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I won't be without one.
Okay.
Love them.
Did you just say a barren woman?
As a barren woman, right?
There you
we
go.
have to have something to nurture. My husband was done with me nurturing him. So he's like, here's a puppy. Nurture away.
Nurture away.
Yes.
Okay.
So that dog, I mean, I could have been the stroller mom. You know what I'm saying?
Ray.
Oh, absolutely. Little outfits.
I thought
if Instagram had been around back then, click, click, click. Oh, yes.
Disgusting.
In my bed, under the covers, cuddled up. Yes. Love it.
I'm so sorry. All right.
I'm sorry you missed out.
And you have a dog currently.
Her name is Seven. Don't judge me.
7.
Yeah.
7 deadly sins.
Don't judge.
Owning a dog is one of them.
We did not name her. We adopted her from a friend, and she's the best
you're
dog
so
ever.
righteous.
We are.
Yeah.
Way up there.
Yep.
Best dog ever. I'm not kidding.
So
she's
who
so
saved
fabulous.
whom?
This is the thing. I want a bumper
Who
sticker.
saved whom?
The bumper sticker.
And is it who saved who, or is it who saved whom?
I think it's supposed to be whom.
I think so.
So getting back to that, and getting back to the text protocol, just shoot me a thumbs up. Anything. A little response. That's all I'm asking for.
I was being a responsible citizen, and I will not text and drive.
Can't you say
Who's been
Siri?
ticketed for texting and driving here? Of the two of us? Wait, it's not me.
I didn't get ticketed. Ticketed. Mm-hmm. I can't flirt my way out of that anymore, though. Those days are gone. Once you get the crow's feet, it's over. And the bat wings, done. Forget it. Yep.
But, so I should have just, anything would have been good.
Anything. Just even a little thumbs up on the, A
thumbs up always feels very snarky to me. Because that's how I feel when I thumbs up people.
You are a snarky person.
Oh, yeah, great.
But, yeah.
Okay. I will try to be better in the future.
Women, you know what I'm saying. Men, just give a little thumbs up. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
And an exclamation point.
Well,
so you know
now
you're not
getting
mad.
Crazy.
Okay.
All right. You know what?
Okay, no period. And you're like, oh, well, fine then. I won't pick anything up. So
I'm introducing our guests now.
It felt safer. It felt safer to say nothing.
Just off the cliff. Nothing. Dead air. Never. Dead air's bad. So,
yes.
Speaking of dead air.
Then
let's move on.
Okay, fine.
I'm just saying.
Do we beat this into the ground?
Yeah, it's over.
Okay.
Because everybody's on my side. Everybody knows. You text back. That's
All right.
it.
Fine.
Okay.
Fine. We'll
All
text
right.
more.
We're
from
having the
now
last
on.
word.
Men, beware. Text back.
I'm going to ask
Even
Shaun
if it's
about
something
it.
small. Please do. Our
going
guest
to.
today is
Yeah.
Shaun Hawley,
Shaun Hawley. He's near and dear to my heart, Jeremy.
and he has a rich timbre in his voice.
Yes.
He's got a really good voice.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you listen to this on Spotify, you'll just be dreaming.
Butter. It's like butter.
It is. That's
awesome.
so gorgeous.
Excellent. Well,
He's a radio guy.
Oh, he's a radio guy.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, I'm excited to hear more about his story as he gets together with us. So stay tuned in these next couple of seconds, because when we edit this, I mean, wham, it's going to be like now.
Boom, because you are the master.
Here is Shaun Hawley. Shaun, thank you so much for being together with us, or getting together with us
getting
today
together with
on
us.
our little show here. We're really just privileged to have you, and I want to start off by saying thank you. You've already lent a lot of good advice and just have been a friend to the podcast even before we knew it was a podcast.
Yes.
So thank you so
So
much,
true.
and we're excited to hear more about your story.
Yeah.
And Ray, you know Mr. Hawley here, and
Yeah.
how are you guys connected?
Yes. Well, I'll tell you. What was it, like 2 years now? Have we known each other?
Yeah, at
Maybe
least.
2, 3, maybe.
Close to 3.
Yes. I was working for Christian Family Care, foster and adoption agency, in the recruitment section. And so my brother-in-law had given me Shaun's email, I think, because he thought that Shaun would be a good connection with me for recruitment. But
Oh, okay.
once you learn more about what Shaun does, you'll know why that kind of dovetailed. But
Gotcha.
out of that, for me, blossomed a beautiful friendship and a mentor type of relationship as well, because Shaun is really the reason I have my other radio show
Which is?
called Real Talk on Arizona Shine, Sunday mornings, 8:15, or Real Talk Prescott.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so Shaun, hi.
You know, when I came to Prescott, one of my goals was to create relationships, meet new people.
Yeah.
And so you were one of the first people that I met in that campaign to meet more people in
One of the
Prescott.
best.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
The best. And no, after we got to talking, I just felt, and this happens sometimes in relationships, you get to meet somebody and then you kind of wonder, this is going to be good. It could go in one of many different directions, and that's a good thing, and it has with us. So not only did you sign up to do a show on Arizona Shine, but we've got to be creative together and work on things. And when you told me you were thinking about doing a podcast, or I remember encouraging you a couple of times that you needed to do more with your personality and what you do and how you reach out. You're so successful at that I just knew that there was an opportunity for us to grow in a friendship.
Yeah.
And then, here we are.
Here we are.
That's awesome.
He's also my movie buddy. I don't know
Movie
if
buddy?
you
How
knew
do you?
that.
How do you mean?
Well, when her husband doesn't want to go to a movie, he'll go,
Yeah.
call Shaun.
Shaun's my movie husband.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like literally going to the movies.
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
I know.
Yeah, it's-
And do you have similar interests?
Yeah. Well, I think we'll
the
watch
most
pretty
part.
much anything.
We will.
Okay.
I just like going to movies for the popcorn and,
Yeah.
the drink,
That's
but,
awesome.
Yeah.
But
It's fun.
one night in particular, she calls and says, "Hey, you want to go see whatever the movie was?" And I went, "Yeah, I'll go because it's a movie. I'll go to
Yeah.
the movies." Find out later that Andy didn't want to go because it was kind of a girly flick, and I'm thinking, okay, now that I need to think about that, think that through. What exactly does Andy think of me, and who am
Was I not manly enough for this movie? What?
That's right. But it was funny, and so I said, "Well, hey, as long as it's okay with your husband, we'll go. We'll go to the movies."
Yeah, he'll loan me out to anybody.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
That's a whole nother show. We should have Andy on.
Whole nother
We'll explore that. We'll unpack
That would
that
be
a
a
little bit.
follow-up. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, man.
So you said when you moved here, that was kind of like your thrust was to meet people and do stuff. So when did you move here, and what brought you to the area?
Yeah, 2018. I've been in radio all my adult life.
Long time.
A lot
yeah.
of years.
Okay.
And spent the last, most of my adult life in Phoenix radio. But
okay.
grew up in Dallas, did Dallas radio, Phoenix radio, and like I said, it's been my adult calling in life to do radio. But I had decided to get out of radio back in early 2018, and wasn't sure what I wanted to do or what I was going to do, and which was fine. I needed a break, and I get a call from a friend of mine named Roger Anderson, and Roger's son, Steve, had worked for me in Phoenix radio off and on a couple of times over the years. And then Roger, I knew, had bought some radio stations in northern Arizona, bought some in Flagstaff, some in Prescott. And he just called out of the blue one day and said, would you consider moving to Prescott to run the Prescott radio stations? We have 3 here: Arizona Shine, Magic 99.1, and Fun Oldies 97.9. And I said, yeah, I would. I said, let me sleep on it. Called him first thing next morning and said, yeah, I'd move to Prescott.
Awesome.
And so,
what a gift
yeah,
to all of us.
And what has your role typically been in these radio stations that you've worked in, and how are you involved in radio?
well, the first 15 years I was on the air.
Okay.
Can you
And,
tell?
Oh yeah, he's got
It's dreamy.
It's
I'm going to
dreamboat.
move this up just a little bit, though.
Okay.
So.
Pop radio, that's what got me into radio. I got in for 2 reasons. 1, because I love the music. 2, because I was and am still an introvert. And so I needed to learn how to talk to people, and
I know, it totally surprises me.
Yeah, that's totally
so
different.
Yeah.
I've learned how to do it. I still go home and shut up, but but anyway, so did that. Moved to Phoenix. Always loved Phoenix. Loved the West. Moved to Phoenix in '84, and did radio there up until 2018.
He didn't just do it. He's being very modest. How many stations did you run?
Well, in Phoenix, I oversaw the programming of 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
that's a lot.
Now, I didn't really run them, so I didn't handle the sales side of things, but ran the programming side, what comes out of the speakers.
Wow.
And so, and that prepared me to be here and run these 3. So,
That's awesome.
But anyway, to answer your question, Jeremy, I spent the first 15, 16 years on the air, and then got into programming, which is a management role that basically you're responsible for anything that comes out of the speakers. The music, the talent. It starts with an image or a vision for a radio station, and then you put the pieces together to support that essence, if you will, of the radio station. So that prepared me for running the 3 here. So here I'm not on the air any longer. I felt like I came off the air in 1990, so it's been a long time. But still enjoy the business and enjoy the people I work with. And, and really it's led me to situations like this.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so great. So we want to know. I want to know. I don't know if you want to know. I
want
didn't
to
ask
know
you.
everything.
I want to know. Tell us some people that you've met that we might know. I mean,
Ooh, name dropping.
Right?
I like it.
know. Because he's met a few. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we some of the rockers weren't so friendly. I remember when the Doobie
Divas.
Brothers first had a hit. Our radio station in El Paso was doing a promotion with them, so I went to the airport to pick them up, and they got off the plane. There was like 7 or 8 of them in the band at that time.
Oh, I didn't know
and
that.
we get out of the staging area where you wait to get on the plane, and they just all fall down and play dead.
What?
And there's people everywhere trying to step over them, and they just got up and laughed, and I thought that was funny. So,
That's interesting.
but then
way
you
to
fast
get
forward.
publicity.
I got into country music in
Now we're talking.
'88.
Oh, that is nice.
Man. So that was the time Garth was coming along,
Oh, wow.
and Brooks and Dunn, and Alan Jackson,
Precious.
and everybody in that new wave of '90s
Yeah.
country
Yeah.
that changed the world.
Yeah,
it was
it
almost
did.
like the British invasion
Yes,
in country.
It was.
Nice.
So Garth was the best. I mean, I didn't meet anyone in country music that wasn't beautiful, that wasn't appreciative, thankful,
Wow.
They're
humble.
nice people.
Yeah, they are. And Garth was the best. I mean, we did great shows with him a couple of times. Hung with him a couple of times backstage at some shows, and he was just the ultimate gentleman.
Wow.
And every artist that you can imagine in country music was the same way, from Garth to Dwight Yoakam or
Kenny
Tina McBride.
Chesney.
Kenny was. Tell you a funny
He
story.
seems a little wild.
Well, I'm at the Country Music Awards in Nashville one year when Kenny won the Entertainer of the Year, and anyway, after the show, us radio folks they had parties all over town, so we go to this party where it's like a big banquet room, huge, probably held 1,000 people, and I hear over all the crowd someone going, "Shaun," and I'm thinking, it's probably more than one guy named Shaun in that crowd.
Right.
So finally I hear him again, "Shaun." I turn around, it's Kenny Chesney, and we had met a few times before. But he goes, "Come here, I want you to meet my bride." And so I go back there, and it was Renee Zellweger.
That's right.
When they first married.
Yes.
In the 15 minutes that they were
right.
married.
I forgot about that.
But anyway, he was great. And I saw him a few times before and after that, again, backstage, whether it was in Phoenix or Nashville or wherever.
How fun.
Yeah, they were all great, man.
Wow.
That's really cool.
That was the most fun side of what we do in radio.
Yeah. Well, radio's changing a bit now that, just technology and whatever.
Yeah.
So have you seen the major changes? Have you kind of felt that? Or in Prescott, in our sweet little town?
I have. And to kind of address your point in the big picture, what it's done is because of the access to media, just in general, social media, technology, smartphones, all of that. The younger generation, they're not radio listeners necessarily.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think we have more of them probably in Prescott, because we're able here to bond with the community, whether it's Magic or Arizona Shine or any of the radio stations.
Yeah.
So we're able to bond with the community, which allows us then to bond with some of the younger folks as well. Mm-hmm. But I get it. I mean, when you listen to music on your iPhone with earbuds, the quality is pretty exceptional.
Yeah.
You hear it crystal clear. It's not that clear coming out of the speakers in your car radio anymore. Mm-hmm. So with that in mind, we're a little challenged from the standpoint of we deal mainly with an older demographic now, and I say older, 45 plus.
Yeah. I mean, I listen to the radio in my car. Yeah.
To yourself?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But you make a good point in this town. Because when I first moved here 6 years ago, I kept hearing, Lisa, at these little things. And to have kind of a hometown DJ that shows up to places, I think that's kind of cool. It's really special because I grew up listening to Bubba the Love Sponge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
Real guy. Yikes. And Delilah at night. Did you ever listen to? No, you weren't allowed to listen to Delilah.
Awful, Ray. Love Sponges and Delilah. Oh my goodness.
I know.
Yeah, you don't know what you missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and so you never got to meet those people. And we didn't have the internet back then, so I didn't know what they looked like unless you showed up at something that they were promoting.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was this air of mystery about these famous DJs. Even who was the New Year's Eve?
Never
Ryan
aged.
Dick Clark.
Dick Clark. Thank
you.
Never saw him until he showed up on TV doing his thing, but you always heard his voice.
Well, now he did American Bandstand way before you were born.
Gosh, I remember. I watched
on the television.
I watched American Bandstand.
With the moving pictures.
Yes. Right.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, having like Lisa and a hometown radio station is really special.
Yeah, it really is, and that's one advantage we have these days in radio, terrestrial radio, is that we can have a morning show that's live and local, like Lisa.
Yeah.
Hence her name. Rise and Shine with Dave Schreiber on Arizona Shine.
My kids love calling in.
The cool thing about having local, personalities on the local radio station, that's still a big deal. because they have the opportunity to bond with
Yes.
not only people like you guys and us, and they're a blast inside the radio station. We have fun in the hallways.
Yes.
That's good.
And that's a big part of it. But yeah, the community likes them. They tune in because they're approachable, they're warm, they're friendly. They want to hear what's happening in the local community.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. And it is fun. There's something fun when I get to say, I'm going to the studio today. Yeah.
Yes. Feels great.
Yeah.
Uptown.
It does, yes. And I do want Lisa's job, I'm just saying. There it is. It's out there.
Ooh.
I don't know. Maybe one day.
I've got some explaining to do when I get back to the
Yeah,
radio
that's right.
station.
Yes, you do. Yep.
So, Shaun, how did you initially get involved? How did you know that radio was going to be kind of your thing?
I was playing in a band in high school.
And what were you playing?
I was a singer.
You're a singer.
So I didn't
All
play
right.
a thing. Tambourine,
Yeah,
know.
it wasn't
nice.
the snoozicle, Jeremy, or whatever it's called.
Sousaphone.
Yeah, the sousaphone. It wasn't that.
Sousaphone. Okay.
No. But anyway, our manager said, in those days you had to go to school to get into radio, you had to get a license.
Okay.
So he said, probably if you'd go get your radio license and, you can make a living while we're trying to make it.
Ah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So I said, that's a great idea. So went to radio school and never looked back at the band. I just got into radio and just fell in love with it.
That's good.
So that's what kind of gave me the nudge. In addition to the fact that, again, at that time I remember thinking that I need to find out how to talk to people one-on-one, face to face, because man, when I was in school, I wouldn't do a live book report. I wouldn't get up in front of the class for any reason.
Wow.
So I had to learn how to do that.
That's pretty impressive that you would
Isn't
see
it?
something that was sort of a deficiency, if you will. Like you saw that as like, this isn't just me. This is something I can overcome. And then to apply yourself, not to just find a career where you're like, hey, as long as I can be in the background, but then to really push yourself into an area that you were uncomfortable. And I don't think that happens a lot. And I don't think it happens a lot, especially these days. So, man, that's awesome.
Well, what helped a lot was the love of the music. I mean,
Okay.
that's what really, as kids, you grew up listening to music and your
Yes.
favorite
Yeah.
artists and
Oh,
favorite
yeah.
songs
Yeah.
and all that. And so that was the real thing that pushed me over was, I can get paid to be, inside a radio
Right,
station and
around
playing
music.
Yeah.
So that was motivating as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so what became of the band?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
After I left, they fell apart.
And what kind of
wow.
music was it?
It was rock.
Rock,
Yeah,
okay.
That was when Jefferson Airplane and
Oh, yeah.
Jimi Hendrix and all of that was on the radio. So Led Zeppelin was on the way in, and Chicago was already.
Chicago's cool.
Chicago's
Yeah.
one of my favorites.
Yeah, they're
like
coming
Chicago.
back on the 20th, by the way.
That's right.
So
they
they-
are. Did
They're
you know
coming
that?
to the Prescott Valley.
Yeah.
Yes.
Event Center?
Yes,
Is that what
they
we're calling
are.
it?
Oh,
That's awesome.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Finley
so anyway,
Toyota. Yes.
Finley Toyota.
but that's what.
Toyota.
That was the great thing, was to be associated with those bands.
Yeah.
That's really
Wow.
That is good.
You like Chicago too?
I like Chicago. So they have that style that has like they have a little more brass.
brass? Yeah.
And then they also have some really tight harmonies.
Yes.
And so growing up, I wasn't really into rock music. I wasn't really allowed to listen to now music.
Really? It's a shocker.
I know it is, but
Too busy with the
but
sousaphone.
I honestly didn't really like it anyway. So then when I heard bands like this, because music was such a part of like our church and other things,
Yeah.
something that had like tight harmonies and the brass, like I
brass.
could. I don't know. I felt a little more connected
Yes.
to it. So yeah, Chicago, Boston. I like those guys. Those are really
REO
cool.
Speedwagon?
I like REO Speedwagon.
Yeah.
But and then Queen. I
Yes.
a friend of mine turned me on to Queen in high school, and oh man, like I
Do you have to
love
listen
Queen.
to that like on the down
Oh,
low?
absolutely. That's like what I got my first Discman mainly to listen to Queen, because then I could put the earphones on. and
Mom
be
knows
like,
now. She watches.
Oh yes, she does.
You-
But I'm also 45, so
Well,
hopefully
but
I don't
are
have to
you-
go to my room anymore.
I don't know.
They're gonna move here, so
I know. See, you got to think about those things.
yes. But I've repented and seen the light.
Yes.
And
there
I
you
don't do
go.
those things anymore.
Mom?
No, I do. But
What's your favorite genre of music then, Shaun?
There were probably two. That British invasion is the one that really got my attention, because that was a time in my life where, it wasn't a good childhood. And so that kind of became my escape.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, the British invasion, the Beatles, I was ripe for that at the time. So, and that still probably is my favorite, without a doubt. The second close favorite to that was when the Eagles came out and they were doing that country rock thing. I didn't want to admit that it was country rock at the time, because growing up in Dallas, all you heard about was country.
Yes.
And I didn't like country, at least at that time.
Yeah.
So that was another, era of music that I really loved.
Okay.
And then in '88, when the new country came along with Garth and that whole clan, man, it was
Had a little more rock sound to it.
Yeah, a little more, but it was still country enough that you could identify with the country message, which is God, family, and
country.
Yeah, you
USA,
bet.
right?
Dead dogs.
No, that is no.
Front porch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Guns.
Trucks,
Guns,
guns, drinking.
Oh, yes, drinking.
Yep, if you're Blake Shelton.
Wow.
But you can identify with that. It's funny, when I was first offered a job to get into country music, I said, no, thanks. I'm not a country fan. But the guy that hired me has become a good friend of mine now. And we're putting a station on in Phoenix called Camel Country. And that, again, was the same time Garth and Brooks and Dunn and Clint Black and all those guys were coming in. And I tell you, within a month, I was a country fan.
Yes.
Now, the country music had changed a little and kind of appealed to me a little more. It was more pop-ish.
Right. Yeah.
Not so much steel guitar, but it's funny. Then I would hire people out of ASU for interns. We had an intern program partnership with them, and so we would hire people when they would come to interview. Some of these kids from ASU, they'd find out it was country, and they didn't want any part of it. One girl in particular, though, said, I don't like country, but I need a job. So she came on with us.
Yeah.
Within 2 weeks, she goes, I don't know what happened, but I love this.
Yes.
So it does suck you in a little bit,
Yes,
because
it does.
it's so down home, and we can all relate to that.
Makes you feel warm and cozy.
Yeah.
You got to try
And
it.
that was Martina McBride. Oh, no, wait.
No.
It wasn't.
That would have been a great story.
Yeah.
wouldn't it? Yeah.
Waiting for the hook there.
Oh, here's
Well, that's
funny.
good.
You mentioned Martina. When we brought Garth in 90 or 91. And as all these great, big artists do, they sell their shirts and things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Martina McBride was his T-shirt girl, selling his T-shirts
No way.
there. Yeah.
Oh
And
my
a couple years later,
gosh.
she hit.
She did okay.
She did all right.
She did
Oh
all right.
my word.
Yeah.
Wow.
shirts.
Yeah, a lot of great
Yeah.
stories like that.
That's
A
cool.
lot of great stories. I like that.
Do not despise small beginnens, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Here it is, a small beginning.
beginnings.
These are our T-shirts.
Move over, Kelly and
We don't
Ryan.
have T-shirts. Not yet.
Not yet. We don't have the money for T-shirts.
If you'd like to sponsor our
There
T-shirts,
you go. There's
reach
a little
out.
segue.
We'll give you a free one.
Oh man. Okay, well, Shaun, we usually end our podcast broadcast asking our guests, since it's called Getting Together, if you could get together with anyone throughout history. Jeremy always says future, but I'm not sure how you would do that. Who do we know that's in the future?
Dude, we're a part of like the metaverse and all kinds of stuff.
no,
Who knows?
don't go there.
Who knows what can happen?
I'm just
So,
learning about that.
I don't want to like box anyone in.
Okay, all right.
Sky's
no,
the limit.
Very PR of you. Who would you get together with?
Don Henley.
Don Henley. That's one we haven't heard yet.
We have not. And why is that?
And why?
He writes for me. The Eagles were a very talented band. But the way he writes, and I think probably ultimately kind of thrust him to the front of the Eagles. It started out as being Glenn Frey's band, even though Glenn and Don started the band. It was a Glenn Frey band. But Don was so talented in the way he would write, his songs just kind of gave him the the forefront in many cases. They were a little bit like Lennon and McCartney,
Yeah.
but probably Don Henley. I'd love to sit down with him. I did when my daughter was 7. We went to a concert and went backstage because a Don Henley song was the first song I ever played for Lauren, and she could relate to that. So at 7, when I told her we were going to see Don Henley, she was, on cloud 9.
Yeah.
And so then when I told her we were going backstage, anyway, Don was kind enough to spend about 20 minutes with just us.
Oh, wow.
And we just sat down and talked.
That's
and
awesome.
I would love an hour and a half or 2 hours with him. And
What'd you guys talk about? Do you remember?
that night behind? No, he was mainly talking to my little girl.
How precious.
Yeah, because we were sitting on the front row, and he walks out and he looks down, and she's probably the only little girl in the place,
I was going to say
And
a
he-
7-year-old.
Yeah.
He looks at her and he just kind of waves at her like that, and she got all starry-eyed.
Yes. Oh, that's so sweet.
So, but she didn't know we were going backstage at that time, so it was exciting.
So you would have a longer conversation with
Yeah,
him.
yeah, I'd love to know because he's such a lyricist, and I think he majored in English lit or something. So he knows how to write, how to put it down, and how to create a line that gets lasting attention. Yeah.
Neat.
So
That's really cool.
Yeah, I love that. That's neat.
So I want to ask a little follow-up question.
Oh, okay.
Is there like a celebrity that you've run into in the past? Have you ever had like a celebrity encounter?
me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I have. I've had a couple. Do you count like basketball players as celebrities?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. So I got to go when we were living in Seattle Sonics, to the Final Four. They were in it. I don't remember what year. And so my maiden name was Chambers. So I was a big fan of Tom Chambers. Yeah. So I got to meet him. So that
Okay.
was fun.
There you go.
yeah.
And then I'm thinking like, living out in California, did I ever see anyone? No. I mean, we'd see movies. Cher. I saw Cher. I didn't meet her, but
Like from a distance.
you remember she did Mask. I don't know if you remember that movie.
Oh yeah.
But, and we were in it. We were at a carnival, and they were filming the carnival, so we were in it.
Ooh.
And then went to watch the movie, and they edited it out.
Okay.
We edited out.
There you go.
So I did see her from afar. She's a beautiful woman. And then I got to see, do you guys remember the show Extreme Home Makeover?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ty
Yeah.
with the spiky hair. So I was at the airport with Ty, but everyone was kind of crowding around him, and I felt really bad for him. He was like just trying to get his suitcase, and I was like, "Can I ever?" And I was just like, "Sup," from far away. Ty.
It's good.
Sup.
All right. There you
That's
go.
it. What about you?
A couple little tiny ones. I remember I was in New York City, and I'm walking down the sidewalk, and actually what caught my eye was this tall kind of blonde gal, and not because like she was pretty, but she looked so sad. I mean, like I don't remember seeing anyone look that like just down.
Uma Thurman.
No.
Oh.
But I was like, oh my goodness, like so then I'm looking and I see that she's with some guy, and it turns out it's Pauly Shore. And
Oh, I'd be
so I'm like, oh, it all makes sense now. But he was probably maybe up to her shoulder.
Oh, my
So,
word.
but I mean, I don't know. There was just something about her sadness that really kind of.
Drew
And then I'm like,
you in.
oh, but then I'm like, oh, Pauly Shore. But
You're making me so sad.
Do you know who she was?
no, it was just his
Oh.
girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
But
Some
yeah, it
model,
was kind of
probably, huh?
some model. But then it was another encounter in New York. Marissa and I were down kind of toward the bottom tip of Manhattan there, and we went into a pottery barn, and then like some song came on, and I'm making an absolute idiot of myself, like singing along. We're just like,
Like
come
you.
on. So then I hear like another person singing, and I'm like, this is my
See?
buddy. And I look over, and it's this dude, and he is embarrassing Drew Barrymore.
Oh, I didn't know
And
you
so
could
I'm like,
embarrass her.
See? But anyway, that's about it.
Aw, fun.
Well, Shaun, thank you so much for being with us today, for getting together with us on the show. And again, just thank you so much for the feedback that you've provided and your willingness to kind of invest your expertise in a couple of folks just trying to have some fun and make something for the community that is hopefully worthwhile and that does invest in the community ultimately. So,
well, you're welcome. Thank you for the invitation. And I just want to encourage you guys to keep on. I mean, there's some chemistry between the two of you. I've watched all of your podcasts. I mean,
thank you.
That's a pretty
watching.
That's a pretty cool thing to do, though. I mean, and also these days when you have probably more of an opportunity to be you on camera and just kind of talk and be yourselves, that's a great thing. So, man, I wish you guys the best in that.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
He's saying that because if we get bigger, he is my manager.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, that's okay. We'll take it. We'll take anything.
I'll move from radio into management.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Getting Together. And we hope you've enjoyed it. Like and share it. And like we always say, there's something for everyone in these podcasts. The whole cool thing about community is that, and Shaun is one of our community members. There are people all around you in line, at the grocery store, when you are out and about. Take a moment to say hi, learn someone's story, and just begin to get to know those around you because they have incredible, incredible stories. Yeah. But like, share, subscribe, and we will see you on the next episode of Getting Together. Thank you so much.
Bye.